Greg, brother, thanks for coming on here. It's this has been a recording that I have been saying is a long time coming. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you? I'm yeah,
Doing really good.
yeah. I mean, I'm good.
Doing
I'm
doing
working hard. Just got out of prison about a month ago, a month, actually 5 weeks ago, and man, I'll tell you what, I'm moving forward, and things are looking positive.
you're doing really well, man. You are moving a lot faster than I moved when I got out. I when I was released, I had some struggles, man. I had some struggles. So you are doing pretty good, and you've been out 5 weeks now.
5 weeks, yeah. And I'm telling you, I mean, a lot helps when like they had the reentry program where I was at in Ozark Correctional, and that really helped a lot because I mean I already had my job interview and everything set up, and then they got people around here in Springfield area that's really good people, man. They're second chance people for real
Yeah,
around here. So and
yeah,
I got a
yeah,
job at
yeah,
CMC. I don't know if you yeah CMC. It's
yeah.
creative modular construction.
Yeah,
So
yeah, CMC is great. I love that crew over there. A lot of people going through OCC and then reach out to Why Not Mindset. They end up going to CMC. A lot of them go through CMC. I was just in OCC yesterday, and I went in there to talk with the staff, but I ended up jumping into the Gavel Club just to say hi to them, and they put me on the spot and pulled me in. It was like, "Hey, speech."
uh,
So I had to kind of give a, but it was fun. It was fun.
yeah.
I had a great time there. I was looking before a recording, and I've saved all my letters, and I was trying to find the first letter you sent me, and I can't find it. I have a big stack of letters. But anyways, we'll get into that later. Let's go ahead and start out and tell me a little bit about yourself and
Well,
where you grew up.
I grew up in a little town called Catawissa. It's about 45 miles west of St. Louis, and I grew up out in the country. Good family. My family's they own a lot of big businesses, and down where I'm from, and my grandpa owned business. And I guess my dad he was into building businesses too. So he didn't spend a lot of time with us kids. It wasn't a lot of time. He worked hard for us, though. We were spoiled. If we needed something, we had it. You know what I mean? But with that, it was a
Yeah,
love issue there that didn't we didn't have for a long time, and that was a hard thing for me growing up. My parents were divorced. In 1985, I was 5 years old, before almost 6 years old, and that really it run me down in life, and I spent a long time in and out of prison over these years. So,
tough,
yeah,
tough.
it's been a tough road. But I've always been one that you don't blame your adulthood mistakes on your childhood behaviors, or what happened to your children, your children or your childhood.
Mhm.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, tell me a little bit about when the when we started getting in trouble. Tell me a little bit about that, brother.
Oh, well, I mean, man, I was at an early age. It was a real early age. I guess I started.
where,
Yeah, at age 11 and 12 years
where
old.
do you want to start?
Well, I grew up, like I said, out in the middle of nowhere. I actually, we were literally, little town Catawissa is out in the middle of nowhere. So my main goal in life was to make it to town, which was 35 miles away. And once, I mean, I bought myself motorcycles and stuff, and then I finally make it to town. Once I make it to town, it was game on. That's when started smoking weed, started, to steal money out of my dad's wallet to get to town for gas money, just anything and everything. But I started smoking
Yeah.
weed, and I got involved in some meth. I started manufacturing meth at the age of 13, helping manufacture meth at the age of 13. I met one of the guys that my dad had working for him. He had a kid, and we used to go over there to his house, They was over there, man. They was over there cooking meth for a long time. I didn't realize what was going on, but then it didn't take long. Once I figured it out, we was, and then run away from home at
Yeah.
14, trying to get away from what the good things that my father was trying to do for me. And the whole meanwhile, I was trying
Yeah.
to get my mom back in my life, and I found out where she was living, went and met up with her, and that just started making me want to run away from home more, just run to her. And she wasn't a very good influence, so she had did pretty
Yeah.
bad things in her life at the time. So yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, tell me about the first time you had to face you had to face incarceration or jail time.
Oh,
Tell me about some of that. All right. Well, a little bit of technical difficulties, but if you would again, Greg, tell me a little bit about the first time you started getting yourself into the trouble with the law.
well, I guess I was 16 years old, and I'd stole some checks from my dad from his company check account, and I was cashing them. And at this bank, I would cash them. I think I got away with two or three of them, but then the last one, they ended up catching on to it. And I'm sitting in the bank, and here comes all the cops. I mean, they're there for me. That's for sure. I'm in my car looking retarded. So, and
Was you freaking out?
man, I was freaking out. I didn't know what was going on. And then they took me to jail. I think I even called home and threatened to kill myself. I mean, how we do with, we're in
Woo.
time of need. And well, they ended up putting me in a paper suit for that one. So I'd spent 4 days in a paper suit. So I was I remember it real well. So and then but it's been numerous more after that. I mean, it's been nonstop. I haven't been out of prison for extenuating. Sorry, I guess in 2005 I was out for 14 months, and and I haven't been out but 7 months since then. So, but I now
So you've really spent like from the age of like 16 until on just basically mainly inside.
yeah. I guess if I was to add up the time that I was out, it was probably around 3.5 years. I've been out since 1996. So, and I'm not proud of it, but man, and it just came to the time. This time, I'm just over. I've never even given it a chance. I've always been the one to come out and just do it again, do it again, do it again. This is what I do. Well,
Yeah.
this time, I mean, I put some things in place: sober living house, mentors, why not
Hmm.
mindset. I mean, I put things in place, and it's really helped out a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. When 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 was it when was it that you decided, Greg, enough is enough, man?
I'm gonna have to say that. Well, I kind of remember I was in the hole. I was in Tipton Hole. It was the 24th. It was the first day that I got the first time I'd ever got on my knees and asked God to forgive me. And April, May, June. It was June 24th of 24. And there was I literally I what brought me to it was they were in Texas. They were getting ready to kill somebody down there. The next day, they were trying to get a stay for the guy. He had turned the death row into a Christian-based program there, and then they still couldn't get him to stay. But anyway, but they ended up taking his life, and that's when I got on my knees, and that's when I said, "Hey, I want things to change in my life, and I'm over. I'm over using drugs, and I'm over doing all the bad stuff." And ever since then, it's been my life has changed. So,
It really has. You sent when I got your, I think I'm really sure I've gotten two letters from you, and then we switched over to the Securus app. But
yeah,
I was really wanting to find it's somewhere around here. That first letter touched my heart, Greg. It really did. It it was you telling me that you found me on a podcast, and I think it was the Less Than the Least Ministry podcast,
yeah,
and you sent me a letter and told me that my podcast is it made my heart so happy. It just brought tears to my
Well,
eyes,
well,
and
if
I
you
was
remember,
I was so thankful.
she was talking about there was technical difficulties in your podcast with them, and I don't even watch them. They're from Texas normally, and I was just flipping through there, and I heard her say, "Hey, this one might be for you. There was technical difficulties. I'm gonna listen to it." So I would listen to it, and the whole time I thought you were from down there. But then in the end, you say you're from Springfield, Missouri. I'm like, oh well, that's exactly what I was looking for. A mentor from Springfield, Missouri. You was, and it was Jesus brought you to me. That's I brought your ministry to me, and there's no other way to say it.
I I read I read that letter and thought, I already know this person. I already know Greg. And by the time I read your letter, I'll admit I reread it to my wife, and my wife got teary eyed, and she said, "This is why God is having you do this. This is why God's putting you on here. This is why God has opened these doors and touched you on the shoulder, and this is why He's pushing you in this direction, is for this letter right here." So your letter inspired me to keep moving even harder. Um,
Well,
but yeah, man, yeah, it's been
like,
great. So how tell me a little bit about how it was. We say you're 2 to 3. Let's go 3 weeks. Let's go 3 weeks out before you're released. Tell me what's going on in your mind when your mind's already set that you and the Lord have got you to this point. You know you're not going to mess up. You know you're not going to go back. I definitely know that feeling. But what's going on in your mind? Because what was going on in my mind is I was of course excited, thankful to God that I'm getting out, but at the same time I was in the mindset of what am I going to do, because I'm landing in a brand new town, Springfield, Missouri. I'm a Joplin boy. I'm landed in Springfield. I don't have any friends. I don't have any connections. I don't want to go back to my old circle. So of course I'm excited, but what am I going to do? I've never had a job before. I'm 32 years old and I've never filled out an application. So walk me through what's going on that few weeks before you're getting released, Greg.
okay, so of course, I want to get out, but in the same instant. I was up there in OCC, and man, the life was good. I hate to say that. I would get up every morning and I would paint all day because, murals is the thing I do, portraits and stuff like that. But I would paint all day, and I would go in for lunch. They'd have lunch fixing the food was good, and it was it's almost crazy. I could say that I was like, man, do I really want to go home? But in the same instant, I want to go home. You know what I mean? And I knew that I was going to be right.
Yeah,
But
of
I
course.
was going to Springfield too. I'm from Franklin County. I was going to Springfield. I didn't know anybody up here. Still don't know anybody up here. I was going to a program um, that ended up turning out not the best. But now I've moved forward to some place that I'm really really happy with right now. I'm in a program called Road to Damascus, and man, it's really good. But anyways, but yeah, so I was nervous. I my main nervousness was with my girl. I was letting that get in my head, and I was trying to see if she what was going to happen with us whenever we got out. How that relationships in prison are one thing, relationships out here are totally different. So and we've
Yeah,
also figured out that we've had to slow down a little bit because we want to reel it in a little bit. We were trying to move a little quick, but it's God's put things in our direction that's really, and He's put timelines with it, so it's helped us to slow down. So, anyways,
it is.
but yeah,
Now,
the day I got out, they delivered me here. The prison actually literally takes you to your sober living house you're going to, which is totally different from where I've ever been. They don't do that normally in prison now. That's something new they started. So they dropped us off the front door and just with my box of stuff, and didn't even let me knock on the door before they were gone. And I just took flight for real. I tell you what, I remember I was sitting in the house and I was thinking, man, how am I gonna do this? And there was a knock on the door, and that's when you showed up. And I'm like, I couldn't believe it. Like the timing, because I was just saying, talking to God, like, hey, God, what am I gonna do? And then I hear somebody answer the door and say, "Hey, is Greg here?" And I don't know anybody, you know. And so you brought me the phone. You helped me out. You took come and got me, took me dinner. Like man, I'm telling you, you made it really comfortable for real the first day. You know what I mean? It's not been bad because of certain people. So pretty much that's it.
God, God brought us together, and God, through the blessings of God, I was able, and I am able to provide all the things that I wish I had when I was released. When I was released, I didn't have anyone to tell me, here's a roadmap, here's what worked for me, here's what didn't work for me, here's a phone. I landed with no money and no connections. So I mean, praise God, I was able to reach out to you, and I really appreciate you work in the program, and I'm blessed to be able to provide you with a phone and stuff like that. So yeah. So tell me. I know you did have some problems with one of the recovery houses. We're really not going to go blast out
Oh
names, but
no,
I know you did have some problems with that recovery house, and I really honestly think you navigated that really well. I think you and your faith, you navigated that well. You reached out to me and you told me you was having some problems. And man, I really want to give you some credit, brother, because you handled that really well when you could have went to the old instincts where I know you wanted to throw hands, but instead you
yeah,
handled it well because you knew if I act the way my old self acts, I know where this is going to lead. This is going to lead backwards, and I'm trying to go forward. I'm trying to move in the path in the path God wants me. So you reached out to me. We talked it over, and you made a great decision. And I tell people I'm not here to hold your hand, but I'm here to walk alongside you, and I got your back. I'm here to walk alongside you, and try to do my best to hold you steady. And it seems like you made a great decision. You said you're living at Road to Damascus now. How is that? How is that going compared to where you were before?
oh, it's. I mean, night and day. I'm not saying because it's relaxed, because it's the same hours. We have to get the same hours classes every week. Same, but they help you get transportation to where you need to go. They're gonna make sure you're there. Now, the other place, you got mandatory meetings Tuesdays and Thursdays, which is 10 miles away. And look, if you're on a bike and you know what I mean, or you're walking or anything, you know what I mean. Like they're not trying to give it that. It just is almost like they're, and I understand what they're doing. They're trying to make it hard, so you have to fight for to get and whatever. Each person's got their own way of doing things.
Mm.
But the one I'm
Yeah.
in now, it's they make sure you're there. They yesterday, I didn't realize I had a meeting that it was down the road here. And somebody come up and let me know. They was like, "Hey man, we got that meeting tonight." And I'm like, "Oh, I thought it was Bible study." And I was like, "No, it was an hour." And they let me know. The other program, they wouldn't even let me know. It's on your own to find out everything, get over here, and then like, and the situation between me and the house manager, I could, yeah. I mean, I'm glad I did handle it like I did, because that night he had me mad, and he was just nitpicking, and I'd seen him do it to a couple other guys. Well, those guys got nitpicked out of the house, and then they tried, and then once they turn on you, you feel like they're nitpicking on you. You know you're the new target. So, and I just wanted to get out of there. I'd seen him do it to some other people. I'd seen him lie to the administration about saying the guy did certain things and didn't do. And man, that's first time I've ever did anything with recording. I recorded everything that was said between me and him, because I knew he was gonna lie and say some stuff. So, but I got out of there before anything was said. Anyways, they didn't know any no better. I just left, and I ended up. I think I owe him $21 still. I gotta send it to him for the last day I was there. But But this program is way better. It's way better people that like everybody. We cook breakfast together. We cook dinner together. I mean, people make sure people are eating and healthy and what's going on in their lives. So, and it's just a more brother's keeper. I mean, that's the way I'm with it. It's all about being a brother's keeper.
That's amazing. And the way you handled it, I explain this when I go into potential employers and try to advocate for my participants, my mentees. I try to advocate and tell them the benefits of hiring someone that is coming out on reentry is while you're inside, you learn how to navigate problems. You learn how to focus. You learn how to hiring someone that's just come out is going to be such a benefit than hiring someone like really off the streets, because in today's times we have a lot of people who like to complain
Oh,
and nitpick, and but you get someone coming fresh out, they're going to show you dedication. They're not looking for a quick buck. They're not going to quit. They're going to show you hard work, because where they just came from, they may be making 19 cents or 27
yeah,
cents an hour, working
absolutely.
10 14 hours a day, and now you're offering a minimum wage or plus, and you're not only doing that, you're offering them overtime. And some people on the outside saying, oh, that mandatory overtime, I don't really want to do that. But us, we're like, great, we'll take it all. You're giving me X amount of dollars when I was making cents inside.
Yeah,
I'm gonna jump on that and be thankful.
yeah,
So
definitely.
that
That's what I do find
that's
myself at
doing
my job.
really well.
I find myself being a lot more thankful than the rest of people. A lot of people walk around complaining a lot. I just enjoy being there. You know what I mean? I enjoy
Yeah,
being out, and everything out here is,
yeah,
and I don't think a lot of people understand that either about like how when somebody's gone for so long, like it doesn't take much to interest me. You know what I mean? So it like you
yeah,
you can
yeah.
you yeah, it can be anything. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, besides the last recovery house, let me ask you what has been what has, besides this last house you was at, what what would you say is would be one of the hardest challenges you faced once you got out, and say in your first or second week, what are some of the mental challenges that you faced?
well, I was alone. That was a big mental challenge. You know what I mean? Didn't really have anybody to talk to. Even the people in the house, they weren't really talked to. And and not so much mentally, but physically is transportation. Transportation's a big thing. Getting to where you do the doctor or getting to the work, or I ride a bicycle every day to work. It's 6 miles one way, but I make it, and and it's an e-bike, so it's not too bad. Everybody says, "Oh, well, that's an e-bike," but
Yeah, you got that e-bike. You got that e-bike. I saw that on Facebook after we got you that bicycle, and I
yeah.
saw you got the e-bike. I was like, that's awesome. I was excited to see that e-bike because I don't have one. So I was thinking that is so awesome. And I was wanting to ask you, how fun is that?
Oh well, after you get all the kinks ironed out, it's pretty good. It's nice to be able to go work 30 mile an hour and just enjoy the air and breeze at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? But but there's
Yeah.
kinks with that, just like there's everything. I mean, I pushed it. I pushed it the last 3 miles one morning to work, and I showed up work, and I thought I was gonna have a heart attack because it's a heavy bike to put. It's not easy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. How long are the charges on those things, man?
well, I can. They say, they say silly amount of hours. I don't know. They say miles, like 35 miles. Well, I see it gets about 7 miles or 8 miles to charge, and that'll puts me to work. If I wanted to drive around a little bit, I could. So about 8 or 9 miles to charge, 30 mile an hour. I figured out the other day
Yeah.
on YouTube how to turn mine up a little bit, so I actually goes a little bit faster than that now. but they're
tinkering with
cool.
it a little bit.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah,
something to do. Yeah, so
yeah.
I mean, I got you got to have all the bells and whistles. I got to have a cup holder and a phone holder and all that stuff. I'm,
Is there was there anything going on that surprised you that it was going to be a lot easier that you thought was going to be maybe a challenge? Is there anything that surprised you?
um, I mean, the kindness of people. I mean, like the people I've surrounded myself with, like the Sanctuary Church, and and Why Not Mindset. Just people that I've added on Facebook, and man, I tell you what, people have really um, they're there for positive support all the time. You know what I mean? So, and that's a big plus when
Yeah.
somebody's not being like, "Well, just gonna mess up. You're just gonna," that that's how I was raised with my father. He constantly told me what kind of failure I was gonna be, and that's what I ended up being. So, but we're gonna prove that wrong now. I'm turning my life
Yeah.
over. So,
Well, since you brought up why not mindset, I would like to go ahead and ask you and complete and for your complete honesty, from why not mindset from the time we first met and shook hands and we up until today, what are some of the good and if any, what are some of the things you think might need to change about why not mindset, and what are some of the things that you really liked about the support and the resources we were able to provide?
well, I mean, I already told you about the phone, and actually, it goes back before that too, because like me and you communicated through. You was there with when my brother got killed. You know what I mean? Like on text messaging, you was positive information. You know what I mean? And where I was at prison, that's hard to find. So the why not mindset come through there. Like you guys come through on the phone, on my bike, on the helping me out, getting hygiene from Walmart, getting started, and getting everything, moving forward. Getting let's see, I bought my steel toe boots for work, through the money Why Not Mindset gave me. I mean, and then and I don't know if there's a little contest that we're trying to do too. That's a positive thing. I'm working on that for the
We're gonna
Why Not
win.
Yeah, we're gonna win. We're gonna win. So we're gonna design a shirt, which I think that's really cool, and that's actually giving me something to do in the evenings when I'm just here by myself and not. So we're laying back, relaxing. But
Yeah.
as far as changing, I think you guys should blow up. I think. I mean, I know you're doing it. You're going the right direction. I think transitional housing it's not only good for Why
Mhm.
Not Mindset, but man, there's so many people that need help. You know what I mean? And
Well, let me ask you.
what?
Let me ask you this, Greg. What I feel, and I brought to the team, and the team really liked the idea. Is what I'm running into is, and you might be able to see you might be able to tell me about this. What I'm running into is all the resources that we're able to provide, such as, I mean, from day one, we're able to provide, of course, a cell phone. I take you out to eat, get to know the individual on a personal basis, which I'm trying to get to know the people before they're released, but being able to provide resources such as a haircut, a bicycle, a bus pass, of course, the cell phone. But the barriers that I'm encountering through other participants is that stress of, now that I'm out, and you've provided me all this, I still owe the house that I'm staying at X amount of dollars every week from the day I land. I owe this, so I'm looking to expand on Why Not Mindset to cover that first 30 days of payments. So the day you land, you don't owe any money. We're going to pay that first 30 days. Do you feel that that would take a little bit more stress off the
Oh
individual?
yeah. Oh, absolutely. 100%. Yeah, that would be amazing. And that's transitional house right there. You're what you are. I mean, you're support. That's what you're doing. You know what I mean? You're just paying for
Yeah.
the first 30 days. It's still transitional house, whether it's yours or whether it's theirs. You know what I mean? And that's gonna be a
Yeah.
That'll help out a lot, man. I tell you what, because like even this week, I know I got my check coming. I gotta cut them off, and it's a little bit more expensive here. It's
Yeah.
I think it's 380 for 2 weeks. So I gotta give them that
Mm.
first off the get go. You know what I mean? Which is but
But
it's
imagine,
worth it.
but ima-
Go ahead. If I was paying for my own
but
plane, I would not be.
yeah,
Yeah.
but just imagine if once I met you on the inside or through correspondence, and we went through the program, and the day you was released and went to
Oh
whichever recovery house you went to, I told you that first 30 days is on me. Don't worry about it.
yeah. Well, if you got that's just
That's
that's the total relief. That gives them every. There's no reasons where they can't take their time and focus on everything else. Then, because if you're not focused on trying to make that money just to live here, you got time for something else. You know what I mean?
it
And
gives you
that's
time
another.
to save. It gives you time to
Yeah,
save some money.
yeah, yes, it does.
Because that's the ultimate goal, Greg. That's really the ultimate goal is to get you feeling like a human being again, and not feeling like a felon across your chest just being released. Is to be able to let you feel like a human again, and let you be able to save some money, have some money in your pocket, and not have to worry about, I owe this, or I'm gonna get kicked out. I owe this, or I'm gonna get kicked out and getting back and be getting behind. And if I can expand this program to provide that first 30 days during that 90-day reentry program, I believe that would tear down some more barriers and be able to uplift the people and let them feel. I mean, just imagine if over the first month, and you're working really hard, you're doing the program, and you're able to have a bank account with $1,000 or $1,500 in the bank once you're ready. That would set you up for an apartment. That would set you up
Oh,
for
absolutely.
first and last month's rent. Yeah. So that's what I am talking with OCC, and I'm talking with other places, and I'm also talking with other recovery houses to try to lift the restrictions on that first month. Let's just go ahead and put that first month off. I'm getting pushback, so when I get pushback, I decide how can I do it myself. So that's what I'm working on. When people tell me no, and I run into a roadblock, I say, well, this must be God, and he's shutting the door for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around that door and not go through that door and figure it out on my own. When I was running into problems trying to get into OCC, I figured out, okay, what's my problem? Why can't I go into OCC? Well, I need to start being a little bit more legitimate. So I became a 501c3. I published my first book, and then I started getting notoriety. To me, I, I'm not afraid of being told no. I've been told no so many different ways. So when I get told no, it just fuels my fire to just keep going, so I can get that yes. And once you give me that first yes, I'll run with it, and I'll take 2 yeses and 5 yeses and 10 yeses, and that's really the momentum of Why Not Mindset, and that's what I want to
That's
carry
how it's made.
on into my participants. That's what I want to carry is into that participants. So,
Yeah,
so
that's
what
awesome.
what
It's
is
awesome.
what is what what's going on in your world today, Greg?
Work, lots of work. I've been working a lot, and I mean, look, I don't mind. I enjoy my job, so it's and then I come home and I eat and try to get to bed at a decent hour, get up and do it again at 3 o'clock.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well, keeping
that and
yourself busy, idle hand,
and
idle hands,
my
brother.
and I've got a girlfriend. She's a truck driver over the road from the Boot Hill. You know that. So we talk a lot,
Hmm.
and we're just
Hmm.
taking it one day at a time.
You two are, if I'm right, you two are discussing buying a home together, aren't you?
I
Or
know,
getting a
yeah,
home together,
absolutely.
aren't you?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I'm super excited. She's super excited, and it's good that we got. It's nice to be able to have something nice to talk about. You know what I mean? All my
Yeah.
life, all I've had to talk about was drugs and criminal life, and it's just a whole new change of life, man. And I'm
it's good. It's good to be able to have someone to share with and talk about the future and talk about what's going on. And oh yeah, by the way, I was at OCC yesterday. They asked about you. They asked how you were doing. Told them you was doing great.
Absolutely.
That you ran into a couple. I told them that you ran into a couple roadblocks, but you were able to bypass those with grace and with God's grace, and they're all very very happy. And then I was asked if you are still doing murals, and I said I believe he's doing a mural right now. And I was asked if I could take a picture of that mural and send it in to them because they want to see it.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you have the people on the you have the fellas on the inside
That's all.
rooting you on because they told me that yesterday. You have the people inside asking about you and saying, and when I told them about that, they stood up and clapped for you, man. They you have some love on the inside and some support on the inside.
Yeah.
You
That's
really
all.
do. Let me they saved this for me. They handed me this. Let me go ahead and I don't know if it'll show, but this was my very first visit when I
Oh,
went
I've seen.
inside. It was the first time. Yeah, I'll see. I'll show some of these. They handed them to me. That was my very first time I went inside OCC, and they got me some action shots. They got some action shots of me. Here's one. But the last one is really powerful. I mean, not this one, but this one right here. This one right here means a lot. I'm probably going to put that. I might put that like right here and
Set the game.
start a little collection.
Who are you
That's
with
the
there
Gavel
in that
Club.
picture? Gavel Club. Yep.
Um, I'm not. I probably shouldn't say any names right here on the recording, but you know them all because all of these people agree to take the picture, but all of these were asking about you and
That's all.
they're rooting you on, brother. You have a
That's
lot of
all.
support on the inside, on the outside. You have a lot. You had a lot of love, a lot of God's love. We are coming a little bit towards the end, but I'm going to be going into a university, a couple of universities within the next month, and I go and speak with criminology students. So before we close, I always like to ask everyone that I record with if there was. Let me just go ahead and say this: if you were speaking to a future criminologist that might end up being a lawyer, might end up being a judge, might end up being a future change maker, and they were a student, what would be something you would want to tell them about us? About us in general, if you could give one piece of advice to a future change maker, a policy maker.
That we are humans too. And I mean, even though that we might have been in trouble or we might have done something wrong, but we still eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches just like they do.
I
And
love that.
yeah. So pretty much that's it.
I I I love that. One last question that I always like to ask: if there's someone out there that is on the inside right now and that is getting close to getting released and has been in the same shoes you're in, and here's this podcast, what would be something you would want to tell that person?
Hang in there. It's a great world out here, but it's not going to come easy, and it's a lot of work to it. But if I can do it, you can do it. Anybody can do it if I can do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Greg, I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but I really appreciate you coming on here. Give me the time, and God bless you, brother. I'm glad Why Not Mindset and myself was able to meet you at the door. And this is all God. This I have to give all grace to God. This is
Absolutely.
God moving this. But I really want to say thank you for, dude. Thank you for coming into my life and being a brother with me. Thank you for coming in and I feel like I've gained another brother. So I really do appreciate you coming on here. This recording was well overdue, but Thank you so much, and we're definitely going to continue this conversation afterwards. But I'll go ahead and close this out. And thank you, Greg. God bless. And let's touch base in about 3, maybe 6 months, and see how our progress is going, brother.
Sounds good.
All right.
Sounds good.
Talk to you
We'll
soon,
talk to you
brother.
later.
God
All
bless.
right. All right.
God
God
bless.
bless.